Every man wonders what truly draws a woman in. Not just attraction for a night, but fascination that lingers. The kind of interest that makes her remember your presence, even when you are not around. The truth is, women are not as mysterious as most men think. They respond to energy, to confidence, to qualities that go deeper than looks or money. And often, the traits they love most are the ones men overlook. There are masculine traits that speak directly to a woman's subconscious. Traits that make her feel safe, inspired, and emotionally alive. These are not about manipulation or pretending to be someone else. They are about becoming the kind of man who naturally commands respect, desire, and trust. In this audiobook, you will learn the 7 masculine traits that women secretly love. The ones that make them lean in, listen closer, and see you differently from every other man. Some of these traits will challenge how you see yourself. Others will remind you of power you forgot you had. So take a deep breath, stay with me until the end, and discover what truly makes women love, respect, and desire a man on a deeper level. Chapter 1. The Power of Presence. Presence is magnetic. It is the invisible force that makes people pause when you enter a room, even when you have not said a word. True presence is not about status, appearance, or physical dominance. It is the quiet confidence that says, I am here and I am enough. Women feel it before they understand it. It speaks directly to their intuition. Most men underestimate the power of presence. They think attraction begins with what they say, how they look, or what they own. But the truth is, presence begins with energy. It is how you carry yourself. It is how still you can remain when the world around you is loud. A man with real presence does not rush to fill silence. He owns it. He does not seek attention. He commands it without effort. Presence is the opposite of neediness. It comes from a man who is comfortable in his own company, who does not need approval to feel valuable. This kind of man does not over-explain or overreact. He listens. He observes. He takes in the world with calm awareness. When he finally speaks, people listen because his words carry intention. Women are drawn to presence because it feels safe. It feels grounded. It allows them to relax. In a world full of distraction and noise, a man who can remain centered becomes rare. His calmness feels like gravity. It pulls her in. She might not even understand why she is so drawn to him, but she feels it. It is an emotional resonance that bypasses logic. Presence is born from self-trust. When you trust yourself, you do not need to control everything around you. You can stay calm under pressure because you know you will handle whatever comes next. This is what women feel when they are near a man with presence. They sense stability. They sense leadership. They sense peace. To develop presence, you must learn to slow down. Pay attention to your breathing. Notice how often you speak just to fill silence. Notice how your body moves when you feel uncertain. The more aware you become, the stronger your presence grows. It is not about performance. It is about alignment. It is about being fully in the moment rather than lost in thought or fear. When you are fully present, people feel it. Your eyes connect differently. Your voice carries more weight. Your words land with intention. You stop trying to impress and start expressing. Women notice this difference instantly. A man who is truly present makes them feel seen and understood. He does not rush to fix their emotions or compete with their energy. He simply holds space. That is one of the most masculine things a man can do. In conversations, presence means listening without judgment. It means hearing not just the words, but the emotions behind them. It means understanding that connection is not built on clever replies, but on awareness. Women are not looking for constant talking. They are looking for genuine engagement. Presence shows that you are not just waiting to speak, you are truly there. Presence also changes how you move through the world. When you walk with intention. When you look at someone, you look with focus, not distraction. When you make a decision, you do it from conviction, not fear. These small details create a deep emotional impact. They show that you are in control of yourself, and that is incredibly attractive. The opposite of presence is scattered energy. It is the man who fidgets, checks his phone constantly, interrupts others, and reacts impulsively. This energy feels unstable. It repels rather than attracts. Women may not consciously know why, but they feel the difference immediately. Presence cannot exist where there is anxiety or overthinking. That is why presence begins with stillness. Stillness is not weakness. It is power under control. It is a mind that does not need to prove its worth. When you can remain calm in uncertainty, you project authority. You show that your emotions are not easily manipulated. That sense of inner control is what allows women to trust your energy, to build presence, spend time in solitude, disconnect from noise, from social media, from constant distraction. Get used to silence. Learn to observe your thoughts without reacting to them. The more you do this, the more grounded you become. Presence grows in peace, not in chaos. When you begin to embody this energy, people treat you differently. Women respond with more softness. Men respect you more. Opportunities seem to flow toward you. Nothing magical happened. You simply became intentional. The world mirrors your state of being. Presence is not about being perfect. It is about being authentic. When you are fully yourself, people sense it. You stop trying to manage impressions. You stop performing. You start existing as you are. That authenticity becomes powerful because it is rare. Most people live disconnected from themselves. Presence reconnects you. When a man develops presence, he does not chase attention because he realizes that attention is a byproduct, not a goal. He focuses on depth rather than display. He chooses quality over quantity, stillness over noise, substance over flash. Women are naturally drawn to that energy because it represents maturity. Presence also transforms your relationships. It makes communication smoother because your words carry calm certainty. It makes intimacy deeper because your attention feels real. When a woman feels your full presence, she opens up naturally. She feels safe to express herself because she knows you are not distracted. That safety builds trust, and trust builds attraction. One of the most powerful aspects of presence is that it teaches you patience. You no longer rush emotional outcomes. You do not need to force people to see your worth. You know who you are, and that knowledge makes you immovable. This is the kind of energy that makes women remember you long after you leave the room. Developing presence is not a quick fix. It is a daily practice. It starts with awareness, with the discipline to slow down, with the courage to be still. Over time, it becomes your natural state. You will notice that you no longer overthink your words or worry about what others think. You will begin to live with calm confidence, the kind that radiates from within. Presence is the foundation of all other masculine traits. Without it, your strength feels forced. Your confidence feels shallow. Your charm feels temporary. But with it, everything you do becomes amplified. Your energy becomes magnetic. Your words carry authority. Your silence carries meaning. Women do not fall for the loudest man in the room. They fall for the one who makes them feel something without even trying. That is the power of presence. When you master this, you will understand that attraction is not about chasing. It is about becoming. Presence turns you into the kind of man who does not need to seek validation because his existence already commands respect and desire. Chapter 2, Emotional Strength, the Quiet Power Women Feel. Every man can appear strong when life is simple, but true strength is revealed in the moments when things fall apart. It is not in the smile you wear when everything is going well. It is in your silence when everything feels uncertain. Women notice this kind of strength immediately. They feel it not through words but through your energy. Emotional strength is one of the most masculine traits a man can develop because it cannot be faked. It is steady, grounded, and calm in a world that constantly tries to shake it. Emotional strength is not about hiding your feelings or pretending not to care. It is about understanding your emotions and mastering your reactions. It means being aware of what you feel, but not letting those feelings control your decisions. A man with emotional strength does not crumble under pressure. He bends, he adjusts, he endures. That is the kind of strength that makes women feel safe around him. When a man is emotionally grounded, he becomes an anchor. No matter what a woman feels, she senses that his center remains stable. This balance allows her to relax because she knows she will not be swept into unnecessary drama. Emotional strength is not about suppressing passion, but channeling it with clarity. It is the ability to stay calm in emotional storms, to hold space for others without losing yourself. Women are emotional beings by nature. They experience and express feelings deeply, but what truly attracts them is not another wave of emotion, it is the shore. A man who can hold his ground without judgment or chaos becomes irresistible. He is the calm presence that allows her to express herself fully. That balance creates trust, and trust is the foundation of desire. Many men mistake emotional strength for indifference. They think being stoic means feeling nothing. But there is a difference between being cold and being composed. A cold man shuts down, while a composed man stays open and steady. Women can sense that difference instantly. The first feels distant, the second feels dependable. One makes her pull away, the other makes her draw closer. Developing emotional strength begins with self-awareness. You must understand what triggers you, what makes you react, and what stories you tell yourself in moments of stress. Most emotional pain comes not from what happens, but from how we interpret it. When you learn to separate reality from reaction, you gain control over your mind. That control does not make you robotic. It makes you free. When a woman sees a man who can feel deeply yet remain calm, she sees leadership. Not the kind of leadership that demands control, but the kind that inspires it. A man who leads his emotions leads his life. He does not project blame. He takes responsibility. He does not run from conflict. He handles it with respect. That maturity is one of the most magnetic traits a man can possess. In relationships, emotional strength becomes your greatest advantage. There will always be tests, misunderstandings, and emotional moments. If you react impulsively, you feed chaos. If you respond with patience, you create safety. Women test men not out of cruelty, but instinct. They want to see if your calm is real or fragile. They want to know if they can trust your composure when life becomes unpredictable. A man with emotional strength passes those tests without trying to. He listens instead of defending. He understands instead of arguing. He can stand firm in disagreement without becoming disrespectful. That balance between firmness and empathy creates attraction that lasts far beyond surface charm. The truth is, emotional strength is rare because it requires humility. It requires you to face yourself, to sit with discomfort, and to process emotions that most people avoid. It demands that you grow past your ego and into awareness. That journey is not easy, but it is what separates boys from men. Women can feel when a man has done that inner work. His energy carries depth. He moves differently. He speaks slower. His words have weight because they come from understanding, not insecurity. There will be times when you are hurt, rejected, or misunderstood. Emotional strength is not about pretending it does not affect you. It is about choosing your response carefully. You can feel pain without becoming bitterness. You can feel anger without losing control. That emotional discipline makes you unpredictable in the best way. Instead of reacting to every trigger, you remain composed. That composure confuses immaturity and attracts respect. Women love emotionally strong men because they represent safety and leadership in the emotional world. Such men do not mirror chaos, they neutralize it. They can hold space for emotion without judgment. When a woman sees that she can express herself fully without losing your respect, she begins to trust you deeply. That trust becomes the seed of genuine intimacy. But remember, emotional strength does not mean isolation. It is not about being unreachable or detached. It is about being emotionally available while staying grounded in your identity. You can comfort someone without losing yourself. You can love deeply without dependency. You can be compassionate without being consumed. That balance is the art of mature masculinity. To cultivate this strength, practice pausing before reacting. Breathe when emotions rise. Ask yourself what response would serve peace rather than pride. Over time, this becomes second nature. You begin to feel emotions move through you instead of control you. That emotional freedom radiates through your posture, your tone, your decisions. The more emotionally strong you become, the less you need validation. You stop chasing external approval because your peace becomes internal. That independence is power. It is what allows you to stay calm when others panic, to stay patient when others demand instant gratification. Women notice this because it stands out in a world built on emotional volatility. When you embody emotional strength, you stop trying to prove your worth through attention or dominance. You express it through calm certainty. You can walk away from chaos without resentment. You can stay centered in confrontation. You can remain kind even when others lose control. That restraint is not weakness. It is control. A man's emotional strength transforms the dynamic in every relationship he has. It teaches others how to treat him. It sets boundaries without words. It communicates self-respect silently. Women naturally respond to that energy because it makes them feel secure and valued at the same time. You will know you have reached emotional maturity when peace feels more powerful than winning an argument, when silence feels stronger than reaction, when patience feels more rewarding than proving a point. That is the moment you become the man who can lead, protect, and connect without ever losing himself. The world will always try to test your balance. There will be moments that challenge your peace. Every time you stay centered instead of reactive, you grow stronger. You rise above temporary emotion and embody lasting power. That is the kind of power women never forget. Chapter 3, Ambition and Purpose, the drive that captures her respect. Every woman feels it when she meets a man with purpose. There is a certain focus in his eyes, a calm fire that tells her he knows where he is going. His energy feels different. He does not wander through life hoping something good happens. He moves with direction. He is not chasing people. He is building something. Women respect that kind of man because his ambition gives his presence weight. Ambition is one of the most powerful masculine traits because it is about more than money or success. It is the hunger to grow, to evolve, and to make an impact. It is the refusal to stay average. Women are naturally drawn to this energy because it shows leadership and self-belief. It tells them that this man has a vision and that his life is moving forward with or without approval. Purpose gives structure to your energy. Without it, you drift. With it, you rise. When a man has no purpose, he becomes restless. He fills the void with distractions, relationships, or validation. But when he discovers his direction, he becomes magnetic. His energy stabilizes. He no longer needs constant attention because his mission fulfills him. Women admire a man who is building something beyond himself. It might be his career, his craft, or his discipline. It might be his health, his art, or his business. The specific goal does not matter as much as the intention behind it. A man with purpose moves differently. He wakes up with clarity. He does not waste time on things that do not matter. That discipline speaks louder than any words. A man's ambition shows a woman how he will handle challenges. If he can commit to his vision, he can commit to her. If he can stay focused when life gets difficult, he can lead through storms. Women trust men who have that consistency. They know such men will not fall apart when life tests them. Many men lose their ambition trying to impress others. They start chasing validation instead of growth. But real ambition comes from within. It is not about competing with others. It is about competing with yesterday's version of yourself. A man with this kind of focus does not need to boast. His progress speaks for him. When a woman sees a man who lives with purpose, she feels inspired. His energy challenges her to grow too. He does not need to tell her what to do. His actions make her want to rise beside him. That is how powerful purpose is. It does not demand respect, it earns it, but purpose must come with balance. Ambition without presence turns into obsession. You must remember why you are building. You must stay connected to your values while you chase your vision. Women can feel when ambition is healthy and when it is driven by insecurity. A man chasing success to prove something will always feel unsettled. But a man building from clarity and peace feels unstoppable. There will be times when your purpose isolates you. The path of growth often requires solitude. You will lose people who do not understand your discipline. Some will call you distant or cold. But purpose is not about being understood. It is about becoming who you were meant to be. The right woman will not feel threatened by your focus. She will admire it. She will see the power in your consistency. When you are ambitious, do not just talk about your goals. Live them. Women are not drawn to promises. They are drawn to results. Your consistency is more attractive than your words. Every day that you move closer to your vision, you become more magnetic. You show that you are dependable. That dependability creates emotional security, and that security makes her trust your leadership. Purpose also keeps your emotions balanced. When you have direction, rejection does not break you. Disappointment does not destroy you. You always have something greater to return to. Your purpose becomes your foundation. It gives you perspective. Instead of seeking validation through love, you bring strength into love. That difference changes everything. Women can sense when a man is living without purpose. His energy feels scattered. He gets frustrated easily. He looks for meaning through others instead of through action. He might appear confident for a moment, but it fades. Without purpose, confidence is just performance. Real confidence comes from knowing you are building something valuable. To find your purpose, start with curiosity. Ask yourself what challenges excite you. What problems do you want to solve? What kind of man do you want to become? Purpose is not discovered overnight. It is built through small, consistent steps. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your mission. Over time, that mission becomes your identity. A man with purpose naturally commands respect. He is not desperate for attention because his fulfillment comes from progress. He's not afraid of being alone because solitude fuels his vision. He's not easily distracted because he knows what matters. That kind of focus is rare, and rarity is attractive. Women secretly love ambition because it represents growth. It tells them that being with you means moving forward, not standing still. It gives them something to believe in, something to support, something to admire. They feel safe investing in a man who is investing in himself. But purpose should never be used to dominate or impress. It should be used to lead with integrity. The strongest men use their ambition to uplift others, not to control them. They inspire through action, not words. They build without needing praise. That quiet determination separates them from everyone else. There will be days when you doubt your purpose. You will question your path. You will wonder if it is worth it. In those moments, remember that every great man has walked through uncertainty. Ambition is not about perfection. It is about perseverance. It's about moving forward even when progress feels invisible. When a woman sees you remain disciplined through uncertainty, her respect grows. She sees that your strength is not conditional. You do not collapse under failure. You learn from it. You do not seek shortcuts. You earn your way. That kind of consistency builds admiration that lasts far beyond attraction. Ambition is a lifelong journey. It evolves as you evolve. It is not just about reaching a goal, but becoming the kind of man who never stops growing. The more you align your life with purpose, the more peace you find. And that peace becomes the foundation for everything else: your relationships, your confidence, and your legacy. Women are drawn to that energy because it feels real. It feels alive. A man with purpose does not chase validation because he already knows who he is. He builds, he grows, and he leads by example. That is the kind of man women respect, admire, and remember. Chapter 4. Confidence without arrogance, the energy that draws her in. Confidence is quiet power. It is the invisible force that makes people pay attention without you needing to demand it. It is not about volume or bravado. It is about assurance. It is about knowing who you are and standing in that truth, even when the world questions it. Women are deeply sensitive to this energy. They can feel when a man is confident and when he is pretending to be. Confidence is not about ego. Ego shouts. Confidence speaks softly. Ego tries to prove. Confidence already knows. A confident man does not seek to dominate others. He simply moves through life with calm certainty. This kind of man does not need to announce his worth because his energy communicates it for him. Women love confidence because it represents safety and stability. When a man is comfortable in his own skin, she feels comfortable being herself. His presence allows her to relax. It signals to her that she does not need to perform or compete for his attention. That ease is attractive because it is rare. The difference between confidence and arrogance lies in intent. Arrogance comes from insecurity. It is loud because it needs validation. Confidence comes from self-trust. It is silent because it has nothing to prove. A confident man listens more than he speaks. He observes before he reacts. He can be strong without being forceful. That balance makes him magnetic. A woman can instantly sense when a man's confidence is authentic. It shows in how he handles rejection. It shows in how he treats others. It shows in how he recovers from failure. A man who stays calm when things do not go his way is far more attractive than one who falls apart or blames the world. Real confidence is tested in silence, not in applause. To build true confidence, a man must accept himself fully. That means embracing both his strengths and his flaws. You cannot be confident if you are constantly hiding parts of yourself. Self-acceptance breeds self-assurance. When you know who you are, you do not chase approval. You choose peace over validation. Confidence grows through consistency. It is built through small victories that reinforce your belief in yourself. Every time you keep your word, every time you face discomfort instead of avoiding it, your confidence strengthens. It is not about pretending to be fearless. It is about acting despite fear. Women find that kind of courage incredibly attractive because it shows emotional maturity. Confidence also shows up in how a man carries himself. His body language tells the story before he speaks. A confident man moves with intention. His posture is upright, his gestures controlled, his eye contact steady. He does not fidget or shrink into himself. He stands tall, not out of pride, but out of awareness. His tone of voice matters too. Confidence speaks slowly, clearly, and with purpose. It does not rush to fill silence. It does not rely on volume to be heard. When a man speaks with calm authority, people lean in. Women especially respond to that kind of energy because it feels grounded. It feels trustworthy. Arrogance, on the other hand, tries too hard. It interrupts. It over-explains. It belittles others to feel superior. Arrogance creates distance, while confidence creates connection. A woman may be entertained by arrogance for a moment, but she is drawn to confidence for a lifetime. Because confidence is not about power over others. It is about mastery over self. Women love confident men because they make decisions with clarity. They do not hesitate when life demands action. They do not fear failure because they understand that mistakes are part of growth. That willingness to act, to take responsibility and to move forward is deeply masculine. It shows leadership. A confident man does not seek perfection. He embraces progress. He understands that confidence is not a destination, but a habit. Every challenge he overcomes adds another layer to his composure. Every failure he learns from deepens his wisdom. That evolution creates quiet strength, the kind that does not need to impress anyone. Confidence also changes how a man interacts with women. Instead of chasing validation, he focuses on connection. He is not trying to be liked. He is being real. That authenticity makes him stand out. Women can sense when a man is comfortable in his truth. He is not swayed by approval or rejection. He enjoys connection, but he does not depend on it. When you are confident, you do not react to tests or emotional games. You stay centered. You respond with calm humor instead of frustration. That energy tells a woman that your emotions are stable and that her behavior cannot control you. This sense of stability is what makes a woman trust your leadership. Building confidence requires self-discipline. It means taking care of your body, mind, and environment. It means keeping your promises to yourself, even when no one is watching. Every small act of discipline reinforces the message that you can rely on yourself. Over time, that reliability becomes your foundation. Confidence also requires humility. True confidence recognizes that there is always more to learn. It listens. It asks questions. It respects others without needing to prove superiority. Women respect men who carry power with humility because it shows emotional intelligence. It shows that you are strong yet kind, assertive yet compassionate. A confident man uplifts the people around him. His energy encourages others to rise. He does not need to compete because he operates from abundance. He celebrates others' success without feeling threatened. That maturity makes him a natural leader. Women are drawn to that energy because it feels safe and inspiring at the same time. There will be times when your confidence is tested. You will face rejection, criticism, or failure. Those moments are opportunities to deepen your foundation. Every challenge you face with grace builds more trust in yourself. Confidence is not about avoiding mistakes. It is about trusting your ability to recover from them. When a woman meets a man with genuine confidence, she feels peace. She knows he is not pretending. She knows he does not need her approval to feel valuable. That independence allows love to grow freely without pressure or control. Confidence without arrogance is the essence of true masculinity. It is strength with grace. It is power with humility. It is courage with compassion. When you embody that balance, you become unforgettable. You do not just attract attention. You command respect. A confident man does not need to prove that he is a man. His presence speaks for him. His silence carries weight. His decisions carry certainty. And his energy, steady and unshakable, draws people in without effort. Women do not fall for confidence because it is loud. They fall for it because it is real. It feels safe, it feels strong, and it feels timeless. That is the kind of energy that never fades. The kind that makes you stand out without saying a word. Chapter 5. The power of emotional intelligence, understanding her without words. Every man who wants to connect deeply with a woman must master one crucial skill: emotional intelligence. It is not about being overly emotional or soft. It is about awareness. It is the ability to understand emotions, your own and hers, and respond to them with composure and clarity. Women are naturally intuitive creatures. They live in an emotional world, and they can sense a man's energy long before he speaks. Emotional intelligence is what allows you to navigate that world with grace. When a man lacks emotional awareness, he reacts instead of responds. He becomes defensive when she expresses herself. He shuts down when things feel uncomfortable. He takes her emotions personally, seeing them as attacks instead of signals. This creates distance because she no longer feels safe opening up. But when a man is emotionally intelligent, he does not fear her emotions. He listens to them. He stays grounded even when she is not. That steadiness makes her trust him. Women are not looking for perfection. They are looking for presence. When a woman feels heard, she feels connected. When she feels understood, she feels safe. Emotional intelligence allows a man to create that space effortlessly. He does not rush to fix everything. He simply listens, processes, and responds with empathy. That is a rare strength, and women notice it immediately. Emotional intelligence begins with self-control. You cannot manage someone else's emotions if you cannot manage your own. When you can stay calm in moments of tension, you show real power. You prove that your emotions serve you instead of control you. Women find this incredibly attractive because it represents maturity. It shows that you are not easily shaken. A man with emotional intelligence knows when to speak and when to stay silent. He can sense the difference between a moment that needs advice and a moment that needs patience. He does not get defensive when she feels emotional. He understands that her emotions are not the problem. They are communication. Her anger might be fear. Her silence might be sadness. Her frustration might be a cry for reassurance. When a man can read between the lines, he becomes exceptional. Women often test men, not to manipulate them, but to feel their strength. They want to know that a man's confidence holds steady when emotions rise. A man with emotional intelligence passes those tests not through arguments, but through calm understanding. He does not get dragged into chaos. He brings peace to it. That peace makes him magnetic. You build emotional intelligence through observation. Pay attention to how people react. Notice the energy in a room. Listen not only to words, but to tone, pauses, and body language. Awareness sharpens your instincts. The more you understand human emotion, the less confused you will be by it. Women are drawn to men who see beyond the surface. Another part of emotional intelligence is accountability. A mature man owns his actions and emotions. He does not blame others for how he feels. When he is wrong, he admits it without ego. That honesty builds respect. Women deeply appreciate men who can apologize without excuses. It tells them that you value truth over pride. Emotional intelligence also means knowing your emotional boundaries. You can be empathetic without losing yourself in someone else's emotions. You can care deeply without being consumed. Many men make the mistake of trying to fix everything for the woman they love. They think their job is to take away her pain, but she does not want you to fix her. She wants you to understand her. She wants to feel that you can handle her emotions without running or collapsing. When you react with frustration or distance, she feels unsafe. When you stay grounded and patient, she feels trust. That trust becomes the foundation for intimacy. Emotional intelligence turns conflict into connection. It transforms misunderstanding into mutual respect. A man who can regulate his emotions becomes a pillar in any relationship. His presence calms her storms. His patience invites honesty. His composure gives her space to feel without fear of judgment. Women cherish that kind of stability. It is the difference between temporary attraction and lasting connection. Emotional intelligence is also what prevents manipulation. When you understand emotions, you can see through games and tests. You respond from awareness instead of ego. You do not fall into traps because you see the real motive behind the behavior. That insight makes you powerful. It keeps your relationships healthy and your peace intact. It is important to remember that emotional intelligence is not about suppressing emotions. It is about directing them. You are not a rock who feels nothing. You are a man who understands his emotions and uses them as tools. Anger can become focus. Sadness can become empathy. Fear can become courage. Emotional awareness turns vulnerability into power. One of the most attractive things to a woman is a man who can stay calm under emotional pressure. When everything feels uncertain, she looks at how you respond. Do you panic, lash out, or withdraw? Or do you breathe, listen, and stay steady? The second response is what makes her feel safe in your presence. That safety deepens her attraction. To develop this skill, you must practice reflection. After emotional moments, ask yourself what you felt, why you felt it, and what you could have done better. Growth comes through awareness. Emotional intelligence is built through humility and patience. It is a lifelong practice, not a personality trait. When a man becomes emotionally intelligent, his relationships improve in every way. Friends trust him more. Colleagues respect him more. Women are drawn to him because he feels centered. His energy is calm, but not dull. Strong, but not cold. Present, but not controlling. Emotional intelligence is what allows you to connect without losing power. It is what makes your confidence feel safe instead of intimidating. Women do not just want a man who can lead. They want a man who can understand. They want someone who can see their emotions, not as a burden, but as a bridge. When you master this, you do not need to chase love. You create it. Your relationships become peaceful, deep, and fulfilling. You stop arguing to win. You start communicating to connect. And in that space, true respect and attraction grow. The man who understands emotions is the man who leads quietly, but powerfully. He listens more than he speaks. He feels deeply but acts with reason. He stands steady in chaos and brings calm where there was confusion. That is the kind of man women never forget. Chapter 6. Discipline and self-control, the foundation of real power. There is a quiet kind of power that does not need to be shown. It does not shout or seek attention. It is the power of discipline and self-control. Every truly masculine man understands this, even if he does not talk about it. It is what separates the man who talks about his goals from the man who achieves them. It is what turns potential into results and emotion into focus. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is the ability to choose long-term growth over short-term comfort. It is saying no to impulses that weaken you and yes to habits that strengthen you. Women can feel the difference between a man who is ruled by his emotions and one who rules over them. The latter is rare, and that rarity makes him magnetic. When a man is disciplined, he does not need to prove his strength. His consistency speaks louder than any promise. He keeps his word, even when no one is watching. He trains his body, mind, and spirit not for validation, but for mastery. This quiet commitment builds a kind of respect that cannot be faked. Self-control is the foundation of this strength. It is not just about resisting temptation. It is about being the master of your inner world. A man with self-control does not react to everything around him. He chooses his responses. He does not let anger dictate his tone or desire cloud his judgment. His restraint gives him power because it shows that he is not a slave to impulse. Women are deeply drawn to this kind of man. They can sense when a man is emotionally steady and in control of himself. It gives them a feeling of safety and admiration. A man who can handle his emotions calmly can handle life. His steadiness gives her confidence in his leadership. It tells her that he will not crumble under pressure. Discipline and self-control are not traits that are built overnight. They are forged through repetition and patience. Every time you wake up early when you do not want to, every time you train when you feel tired, every time you stay silent instead of reacting, you are strengthening your inner power. Over time, this becomes your identity. You become the man who follows through no matter what. Without discipline, even the most talented man falls apart. Talent can impress, but discipline sustains. Women might notice talent, but they respect discipline. It shows commitment, stability, and direction. It tells them that this man is not just potential, he is progress. Discipline is also freedom. It gives you control over your time, your emotions, and your focus. Most men think discipline is restriction, but it is the opposite. The more disciplined you become, the freer you are. You no longer move according to moods or distractions. You move according to purpose. That predictability builds confidence in yourself and trust in others. A man who lives without self-control becomes unpredictable. He chases pleasure instead of purpose. He overreacts when life gets hard. He lets small things destroy his peace. Women can sense this instability quickly. They might be attracted to his energy at first, but over time, instability drains trust. Discipline, on the other hand, creates security. It shows emotional maturity, which is one of the deepest forms of attraction. Self-control also reveals strength in restraint. The ability to walk away from what is not good for you is more powerful than the ability to chase what you want. A man who can say no when it matters commands respect. Whether it is temptation, anger, or distraction, your ability to remain composed in chaos defines your character. There will be moments when your discipline is tested. You will be tempted to take shortcuts, to quit early, to justify weakness. But those are the moments that shape you. Each time you choose control over impulse, your inner strength grows. Women sense this evolution even if they cannot describe it. They see it in how you handle challenges, how you react to rejection, and how you manage pressure. A disciplined man does not depend on motivation. He understands that motivation fades. What keeps him moving is commitment. He trains his mind the same way he trains his body, through repetition and structure. That consistency gives him a calm confidence that others can feel. Discipline also affects how a man loves. When a man has self-control, he does not lose himself in relationships. He gives love without losing his purpose. He supports without becoming dependent. Women are drawn to this because it shows balance. It tells them that you can love deeply while staying grounded. Every great man in history had discipline at his core. Whether it was in war, art, business, or philosophy, discipline built their legacy. It is the invisible thread that ties every achievement to effort. It is what turns a man's potential into proof. You build discipline through daily structure. Wake up with purpose. Keep your promises. Avoid things that drain your focus. Feed your mind with knowledge, your body with strength, and your soul with stillness. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Each small act of discipline compounds into something powerful. Self-control is emotional discipline. It means choosing not to engage in arguments that go nowhere. It means staying calm when provoked. It means pausing before you react. That pause is power. It is the space where wisdom grows. Women respect that space. It tells them that you are mature enough to handle life without letting it control you. A man who cannot control himself cannot lead. A man who cannot lead himself cannot protect what he loves. Discipline makes you reliable. It makes you trustworthy. It tells the world that you are serious about your life and your mission. That seriousness is not heavy. It is attractive. It creates gravity around you. People feel drawn to it because it is rare. Women do not fall in love with men who live by impulse. They fall in love with men who move with purpose. A disciplined man does not need to announce his strength. His consistency, his self-respect, and his calmness say everything. When you master discipline, you stop chasing validation. You stop reacting to chaos. You start living with clarity. That clarity changes your energy. You become focused, grounded, and unshakable. And that is the kind of energy that women feel long before you ever speak. Discipline is not about control for control's sake. It is about freedom through structure. It is about peace through purpose. It is the foundation of every other masculine trait: confidence, leadership, ambition, and emotional balance. Without discipline, those traits collapse. With it, they thrive. Becoming disciplined is not glamorous. It is repetitive, lonely, and demanding. But it builds something inside you that cannot be taken away. It builds respect for yourself, from others, and from the women who see your strength. A man with discipline does not just survive. He thrives. He creates his path, stands by his word, and lives by his principles. He becomes the kind of man who is rare in this world. And that is the kind of man who leaves an impression that never fades. Chapter 7. Integrity and Character, the core of true masculinity. There is something about a man of integrity that commands silent respect. He does not need to convince others of his worth. His word is enough. His actions align with his values, even when no one is watching. Integrity is the invisible armor that protects a man's reputation, his relationships, and his peace of mind. It is the foundation of real masculinity, and women recognize it instantly. A man with integrity is dependable. He says what he means and means what he says. His words are not tools for manipulation. They are reflections of his truth. When he commits, he follows through. When he cannot, he is honest about it. That reliability creates trust, and trust is the heartbeat of attraction. Women may be drawn to charm, but they stay for character. Character is what you do when there is no reward. It is the quiet discipline of choosing right over easy. It is keeping promises even when it costs you comfort. It is standing for something even when it makes you stand alone. These choices build an inner strength that others can feel. A woman can sense when a man is rooted in integrity. It gives her confidence that his love, his leadership, and his intentions are real. Integrity is also about boundaries. A man with character does not betray himself for approval. He does not compromise his values to gain acceptance. He knows where he stands. That self-respect is magnetic because it signals emotional maturity. Women feel safe around a man who cannot be easily swayed by temptation or pressure. It tells them that he can be trusted in their absence as much as in their presence. In a world that often celebrates appearance over substance, integrity is rare. Many men say what sounds right instead of what is true. But a man with integrity refuses to perform. He lives by principle, not popularity. His honesty may not always please everyone, but it earns lasting respect. Character is built in small moments. It is in how you treat people who cannot benefit you. It is in how you handle mistakes and failures. It is in how you react when no one will ever know what you chose. Each of those moments shapes the kind of man you become. Over time, they create a reputation that speaks louder than words. Women notice these details. They notice how you speak about others, how you treat strangers, and how you handle pressure. Integrity shows in your tone, your patience, and your follow-through. It is not dramatic or loud. It is steady and consistent. That steadiness creates emotional safety, something every woman deeply values. A man of integrity does not gossip or tear others down. He does not manipulate to get what he wants. He knows that true strength comes from restraint. He can disagree without disrespect. He can assert himself without aggression. That kind of balance is powerful because it is rare. It shows that his strength is guided by wisdom. Integrity also builds confidence. When you live honestly, you move through the world with ease. You do not fear exposure because you have nothing to hide. Your words carry weight because they come from truth. That authenticity is deeply attractive. Women trust authenticity because it feels safe. They know what they see is what they get. A man who lacks integrity might succeed for a while, but his relationships eventually crumble. Lies always surface. Manipulation always backfires. Deception creates insecurity, and insecurity kills attraction. Integrity, on the other hand, creates stability. It gives relationships depth and longevity. A man of integrity does not change his values to fit his circumstances. He lives by principle, even when it is inconvenient. He does not promise what he cannot deliver. He does not chase opportunities that require him to betray his ethics. That discipline builds a powerful presence. People trust him because they can predict him. He is consistent, and consistency is a mark of strength. Integrity is also a mirror of self-respect. When you lie, cheat, or betray others, you harm your own sense of worth. Every dishonest act weakens your confidence because it separates you from your truth. But when you live in alignment with your values, you strengthen your spirit. You gain quiet confidence that does not depend on external approval. Women can sense when a man is honest with himself. His words, energy, and decisions align. He does not need to prove his worth. He simply lives it. That calm authenticity is more powerful than charm or status. It makes her feel that she can trust her emotions around him. Living with integrity requires courage. It means facing the truth even when it hurts. It means walking away from what is easy when it conflicts with your values. It means admitting when you are wrong and correcting it instead of hiding it. That humility is strength. Women are drawn to men who can own their mistakes and learn from them. It shows emotional maturity and wisdom. Character is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in moments of difficulty. When life challenges you, your choices reveal who you are. Do you cut corners or stay true to your principles? Do you speak the truth even when it costs you? Every honest act builds your integrity brick by brick. Integrity is also leadership. When people trust your character, they follow your example. You become a man whose words carry weight because they are backed by action. Women are drawn to that kind of leader because he makes them feel safe. They know that his strength is not rooted in dominance, but in honor. A man with integrity is also emotionally free. He does not waste energy maintaining lies or pretending to be someone he is not. His peace comes from authenticity. His relationships thrive because they are built on truth. That simplicity makes him powerful. To live with integrity, start by knowing your values. Decide what you stand for and refuse to bend for convenience. Keep your promises, especially the ones you make to yourself. Be honest even when it is uncomfortable. Speak truth with kindness. Take responsibility for your actions without excuses. These small steps will transform how people see you and how you see yourself. Integrity is the quiet force that gives your masculinity depth. It is what turns confidence into trust, power into respect, and attraction into love. When a man has integrity, he does not chase validation. He attracts it naturally. Women are drawn to him because they can sense the strength of his character. A man's looks may catch a woman's attention, but his integrity keeps her heart. It is the ultimate form of respect for himself, for her, and for life. And in the end, that is what defines a man more than anything else. Chapter 8. Leadership and Direction. The masculine role women trust. Leadership is one of the most quietly powerful traits a man can possess. It is not about control, but about direction. It is not about dominance, but about guidance. True leadership is not loud. It does not demand attention or obedience. It earns it through strength, vision, and calm consistency. Women are instinctively drawn to leadership in men because it reflects security. When a man leads with clarity, she feels safe to relax. It allows her to trust his direction, not because he forces it, but because his presence inspires confidence. Leadership is not about being above her. It is about walking beside her, steady and sure, no matter what the world brings. A man with leadership has direction in his life. He knows what he's building, what he believes in, and where he is going. His energy is not scattered. His actions are aligned. He does not wait for others to decide his path. He makes choices, accepts responsibility, and moves forward. Women find this deeply attractive because it shows stability and purpose. A man without direction often feels lost. He drifts from one thing to another, seeking something to fill the emptiness. Without a vision, his confidence weakens. He becomes reactive, waiting for life to lead him instead of leading his life. Women can feel this uncertainty. It makes them hesitate to trust his energy. Leadership is what transforms that hesitation into admiration. Leadership begins within. Before you can lead others, you must lead yourself. You must discipline your emotions, control your reactions, and stay loyal to your principles. You must know your mission and move toward it every day. A man who leads himself well becomes a natural guide for others. His confidence does not come from ego, but from alignment. Women are drawn to this kind of leadership because it feels grounded. A man who leads himself does not need to control anyone. He does not force his ideas or opinions. He invites cooperation through calm direction. His energy makes people want to follow, not out of fear, but out of trust. Leadership is not about perfection. It is about accountability. A true leader admits mistakes and corrects them. He listens to feedback without pride. He learns and adjusts without losing direction. This humility makes his strength even more powerful. Women admire a man who can lead without arrogance, who can listen without feeling threatened. In relationships, leadership does not mean control. It means creating structure, stability, and clarity. A man who knows how to take initiative, plan ahead, and protect what matters is highly attractive. Women feel at ease with such men because they can sense reliability. They know that this man can be trusted to make decisions when life becomes uncertain. A man who leads does not wait for permission to act. He takes charge of his responsibilities. He knows when to be gentle and when to be firm. He adapts to situations with intelligence rather than emotion. His leadership shows in how he handles challenges. When life gets difficult, he does not panic. He steps forward. That steadiness makes others feel safe around him. Women are naturally responsive to leadership because it aligns with balance. When a man leads with confidence, it allows her to express her nurturing and intuitive side more freely. She does not have to take control out of fear because she trusts his presence. This dynamic creates harmony rather than competition. Leadership also means having a clear vision. You must know what you want in life, in love, and in purpose. A man with a vision is magnetic because he is moving towards something bigger than himself. Women feel drawn to that motion. They can sense that he is building, evolving, and creating. His direction gives meaning to everything around him, but leadership without empathy becomes tyranny. A real leader leads with heart. He understands that strength and kindness are not opposites. They are partners. Women respect a man who can lead with compassion because it shows that his power comes from wisdom, not from control. Every great leader learns to make decisions with composure. He weighs his choices carefully, but does not hesitate once he acts. That decisiveness gives others confidence. It shows that he trusts himself. Women love men who make decisions with calm certainty. It tells them that they can depend on him when it matters most. Leadership also requires consistency. A man cannot lead if his words and actions change with his emotions. His presence must be stable. His decisions must reflect integrity. That steadiness earns trust over time. Women admire men who are reliable because reliability is rare in a world full of uncertainty. To become a strong leader, focus on clarity. Know your values and live by them. Set goals that align with who you are. Do not seek validation through leadership. Seek growth. Be the kind of man who lifts others up, who inspires by example. Leadership is not given. It is earned through responsibility and resilience. Women love men who take charge, not because they are controlling, but because they bring structure to chaos. They admire men who lead with strength and empathy, men who protect without possessing, men who decide without dismissing. That combination of direction and understanding makes leadership deeply attractive. A leader is calm in conflict. He listens before he reacts. He finds solutions instead of blaming others. He knows that true power lies in control, not aggression. That kind of emotional balance is what women respond to the most. It shows that your masculinity is not fragile. It is mature and dependable. Leadership extends beyond relationships. It touches every part of life. A man who leads his career, his friendships, his health, and his mindset radiates confidence. He does not wait for motivation because he knows that discipline creates progress. This approach to life makes him magnetic because it shows control and conviction. When a woman sees that a man is leading his life with purpose, she naturally wants to be part of it. She feels inspired by his direction and safe in his presence. Leadership gives love structure. It gives passion direction. It turns attraction into partnership. You do not need to be perfect to lead. You just need to be consistent. Show up every day with clarity and intention. Take responsibility for your words and actions. Keep your vision alive even when life tests you. That persistence makes you trustworthy. It builds the kind of respect that no charm can replace. A man who leads with integrity becomes unforgettable. He stands out in a world of uncertainty. His confidence feels real. His presence feels strong. His direction gives others hope. Women trust him because he trusts himself. Leadership is not about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that your presence becomes a guide for others to follow. It is about walking with purpose, speaking with conviction, and living with principle. A true leader does not chase validation. He creates it through his actions. He does not demand loyalty. He earns it through consistency. He does not force respect. He inspires it through example. That is what real leadership looks like, and that is the kind of leadership that women not only admire, but trust with their heart. Chapter 9, Mystery and Composure, the Unspoken Attraction. There is something irresistible about a man who does not reveal everything. He carries himself with quiet mystery, the kind that draws people in without trying. His presence leaves questions unanswered, but not in a confusing way. It is his calm confidence, his composure, and the sense that there is more beneath the surface that makes him unforgettable. Women feel this energy instinctively. It creates intrigue. It makes them want to know more. Mystery is not about pretending to be something you are not. It is about being comfortable enough with yourself that you do not need to explain every part of who you are. It is about silence that speaks louder than words. When a man is composed and grounded, he does not feel the need to overshare. He lets time reveal him. That patience is power. A man who is mysterious is not distant. He is deliberate. He chooses what he shares and when. He listens more than he talks. He understands that connection grows stronger through curiosity, not constant explanation. Women love that balance because it keeps the energy alive. It creates a dynamic where discovery becomes exciting. Composure is the foundation of this mystery. When a man is composed, he does not react impulsively. He takes a breath before responding. He observes before deciding. This calmness is what gives him presence. Women feel safe around that kind of energy because it feels controlled, intentional, and mature. It shows that he has emotional balance, and emotional balance is deeply attractive. Many men mistake mystery for manipulation. They think being hard to get or cold will make them appear powerful. But real mystery is not about withholding affection or attention. It is about depth. It is the quiet knowing that your worth does not depend on external validation. It is about having layers of purpose, focus, and self-awareness that unfold naturally over time. A mysterious man has self-control. He does not share everything just to fill silence or gain approval. He is not desperate to be understood. He knows that real connection is built slowly. This patience shows strength. Women respect that because it contrasts the constant neediness they often experience from others. Composure is what turns uncertainty into confidence. A man who can stay calm when emotions rise creates a sense of safety that women deeply crave. When she tests him or challenges him, his ability to remain steady tells her everything she needs to know about his maturity. His calm response is louder than any argument. Women often feel drawn to men who maintain mystery because it creates emotional tension in the best way. It gives the relationship room to breathe. It allows attraction to grow organically instead of being forced. Mystery gives space for curiosity, and curiosity is one of the strongest forms of desire. You can cultivate mystery by mastering restraint. You do not need to share every thought. You do not need to announce every plan. Let people discover your depth through your actions. Speak less, observe more, and stay grounded. This does not make you closed off. It makes you intentional. It makes your energy feel valuable. Composure also means emotional maturity. It is easy to act confident when everything goes your way. The real test comes when things fall apart. Can you remain steady when life challenges you? Can you stay kind when provoked? Can you listen when angry? Those moments define your emotional control. Women are drawn to men who remain composed through chaos because it shows leadership and strength. A composed man does not need to react to every situation. He understands that silence is sometimes more powerful than words. He does not explain himself to people who are not ready to understand him. He does not chase arguments that go nowhere. He values peace more than pride. That quiet discipline is what separates him from most men. Mystery also comes from having a life that goes beyond relationships. When a man is passionate about his goals, curious about the world, and focused on self-growth, he becomes magnetic. Women are drawn to that because they can sense that he has his own world, one they might be invited into but not needed to complete. That independence creates an aura of strength. Composure is not about being emotionless. It is about having control over your emotions. You can feel deeply without being consumed. You can care without losing balance. You can love without becoming dependent. That emotional balance is what gives mystery depth. It keeps attraction alive long after the first spark fades. Women often say they want a man who is calm and collected, but what they truly mean is that they want a man who can handle emotion without losing himself. A man who can stay centered when she is emotional. A man who does not try to fix her, but understands her. That level of control communicates safety, and safety deepens attraction. A man with composure carries silence like confidence. His stillness has meaning. He does not rush to fill space with noise. He knows that comfort in silence is rare and powerful. Women feel that energy and lean into it. They are not drawn to men who need constant validation. They are drawn to men who can sit in quiet and still feel certain of themselves. Mystery is not something you act out. It is something you live. It comes from self-respect and clarity. It comes from having your own rhythm, your own thoughts, and your own mission. The more you understand yourself, the less you need to explain yourself. And the less you explain, the more others want to understand. To build mystery and composure, practice patience. Stop oversharing to be liked. Stop reacting to every emotional trigger. Slow down, listen more. Choose your words carefully. Take your time to respond. These habits create an aura of strength that others can feel. Women love men who carry mystery not because they are confusing, but because they are consistent. A man who knows who he is does not rush to be known. He allows his energy to speak for him. His confidence is quiet but unshakable. His presence is steady but intriguing. Mystery and composure are the final layer of attraction. They turn respect into desire, curiosity into connection, and interaction into memory. They make a woman feel both safe and challenged at the same time. That balance is powerful. When you carry yourself with mystery, you are not playing games. You are simply living with purpose and calmness. You are not trying to be unpredictable. You are being authentic enough that others cannot fully read you. That is the beauty of real masculinity. It cannot be fully understood, only experienced. So be the man who reveals through actions, not words. Be the man who listens more than he speaks. Be the man whose silence feels strong, whose presence feels calm, and whose depth is sensed before it is explained. That is the kind of man who stays on a woman's mind long after she leaves the room. Chapter 10. The Transformation Becoming the Man Women Truly Respect. Every man reaches a moment when he realizes that attraction is not about tricks or tactics. It is about transformation. Real growth does not come from memorizing what to say or how to act. It comes from evolving into the kind of man who naturally attracts respect, admiration, and love through who he has become. The journey you have taken through these chapters has not been about learning how to win women. It has been about remembering who you are at your best. The truth is, every man has two versions of himself. The first is the one shaped by fear, ego, and insecurity. This version reacts, seeks validation, and feels uncertain. The second version is grounded, powerful, and patient. He does not chase. He attracts. He does not try to control. He leads with clarity. The goal of transformation is to let go of the first and fully embrace the second. Becoming that man requires courage. You must face yourself honestly and confront the parts that hold you back, the habits that make you reactive, the doubts that silence your confidence, the excuses that keep you from growing. This process is not easy. It demands self-awareness and humility. But once you begin, you will feel something shift inside you. Transformation begins with presence. When you are truly present, you stop living in the past or the future. You stop replaying mistakes or worrying about what could go wrong. You start to experience life directly. Presence brings clarity. It allows you to connect with people deeply and authentically. It gives your words weight and your energy gravity. Women can sense that presence instantly. It feels rare, steady, and magnetic. Emotional strength is the next layer. To transform into the man women truly respect, you must master your emotions instead of being mastered by them. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. That calm response is what separates the boy from the man. It shows maturity and wisdom. It tells the world that you are no longer ruled by impulses, but by understanding. Confidence comes next, but not the kind that shouts or competes. Real confidence is quiet. It is the calm belief that you are enough, that your worth does not depend on anyone's approval. When you embody that, your presence changes. You walk differently, speak differently, and people respond to you differently. Then comes purpose. A man with purpose becomes unstoppable. He wakes up with direction. His days are built on meaning. He is not distracted by the noise around him because he knows what he is building. Purpose turns attraction into admiration. It gives depth to your masculinity. Women respect a man who lives for something greater than attention. Discipline follows purpose. Without discipline, purpose remains a dream. Discipline is how you earn your transformation. It is how you build consistency, confidence, and control. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build respect in your own eyes. That respect radiates outward. Women feel it even if you never say a word. Integrity ties it all together. Integrity is the invisible line that keeps you aligned with your values. It makes your presence trustworthy. It shows that you live with honor, even when no one is watching. When your words and actions match, your energy becomes powerful. It is the kind of energy that commands attention without effort. Leadership grows from integrity. When you lead yourself with discipline and clarity, others follow naturally. You no longer need to prove anything. You guide through action, through consistency, through the quiet authority that comes from knowing who you are. Leadership turns attraction into devotion. It makes women feel safe to trust your direction and inspired to stand beside you. Finally, mystery and composure complete the transformation. When you have control over your emotions and comfort in your silence, you no longer seek to be understood by everyone. You are content being authentic. You reveal yourself through presence, not performance. That stillness gives you depth. It makes others want to know you more, even if you say less. Transformation does not happen overnight. It is built one decision at a time. It is choosing discipline over distraction, patience over reaction, and purpose over pleasure. It is learning when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to stay still. Each of those choices shapes your new identity. As you grow, something beautiful happens. The opinions that once controlled you begin to fade. The people who once doubted you no longer matter. You stop chasing attention because you realize that attention is not the same as respect. Respect must be earned through consistency, and that is exactly what your transformation gives you. Women notice this change. They see the difference in your posture, your tone, and your presence. You are no longer the man who needs validation. You are the man who creates value. That shift changes everything. It makes attraction effortless because your energy speaks louder than your words. Transformation is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were before the world made you doubt yourself. It's about removing the layers of insecurity and fear that covered your strength. Underneath it all, you were always enough. You just had to see it. Every trait we have explored, presence, emotional strength, confidence, purpose, discipline, integrity, leadership, mystery, exists within you already. They are not qualities to chase. They are qualities to uncover. The more you align with them, the more your life begins to change. People treat you differently. Opportunities appear. Relationships become healthier. The man who transforms does not do it for attention. He does it because he refuses to remain ordinary. He wants to experience life fully. He wants to give, lead, love, and inspire. He wants to walk through the world, knowing that he has become the kind of man he once looked up to. When women see this kind of man, they cannot help but feel drawn to him, not just for his looks or his charm, but for his energy. It feels safe yet challenging, familiar yet exciting. They see a man who knows himself, and that is the rarest attraction of all. Your transformation is not about what you gain. It is about what you let go of. The fear, the self-doubt, the hesitation, the need for approval. Once those fall away, you stand in your full masculine strength, calm, confident, centered. So as this journey ends, remember this truth. The most attractive man is not the one who tries to be perfect. He is the one who is real, grounded, and evolving. He does not seek to impress. He seeks to improve. He does not chase love. He attracts it by becoming love itself through his integrity, his purpose, and his peace. That is the transformation every man is capable of. And once you step into it, you will never need to ask what women want again. You will already be living it.